It's a home for New York. And we're going to be doing a lot of things here over the next few months and the next few years. On the other side, behind the black drape, is something around the corner that I can't even give a big reveal on just yet. It is the new Urban Civil Rights Museum in Harlem. That museum, still under construction, I had a sneak peek, is basically a spectacular, if you will, place where the story of the Northern Civil Rights Movement, the Northern African American experience from 1500 to the present is going to be told. And our plans are to invite all of you back, if you can get here on your own, in Juneteenth week of 2026, when we cut the ribbon on the new Urban Civil Rights Museum in Harlem. And you should know, and this was a stunning fact, but it is a fact, it is the first civil rights museum built in New York history. So for all of the history, there's never been a civil rights museum in New York City or in New York State. And so we are contributing, and we're building a public-facing institution. It will tell the story of the Urban League movement, but it will more broadly tell this incredible story, which includes the Great Migration, the Harlem Renaissance. It will include the movement for political and economic empowerment of the second half of the 20th century. So it's going to be spectacular, and we will invite you back. And that's just the 4th floor of this building. On the 3rd floor, that some of you may have had an opportunity to visit, is where we get our work done. That's the annual headquarters floor, where your 100 and almost 50 annual staff colleagues work every day. That's the 3rd floor of this building. On floors basement through 2 are 4 retailers. 4 retailers that pay us rent. That floor is managed by one of our developer partners, the Takani Corporation. Those 4 retailers have been open for a year. And so we are very excited that we have those retailers because they drive the economics of this building. On the 5th and 6th floor, currently, is located the administrative offices of the Studio Museum in Harlem. The Studio Museum in Harlem is opening a brand new facility next week, right across the street from here on 125th Street. They are one of the premier art museums in the world to showcase the work of African American and African diaspora artists. So their administrative offices are here. Also upstairs are the offices of the United Negro College Fund, UNCF, New York Division. Also on the 3rd floor up there will be a urban campus for Virginia Union University. So for the first time, an historically black university will have a campus here in New York City. And I'm gonna let them announce when they make their announcement of what's gonna be offered at that campus, which will be upstairs. And then we're in continuing discussions with a number of other exciting for-profit and non-profit potential tenants for the 5th and 6th floor. But that's not it. From floors up to 17 above 6, we have 177 units of housing. 177 units of housing. Every one of those units is an affordable unit. Yeah. I have no units available. Y'all pay too much money. But we have 177 units of housing. So what we have accomplished here with a team of architects, financial people, consultants, and experts, including significant participation by African American professionals. What we have accomplished here is something unmatched. Almost 500,000 square feet at a price tag of $1 billion. And that $250 million came together from multiple sources, both public and private, and significant money that we raised to make our equity contribution to this property. Now this Urban League Empowerment Center, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, brothers and sisters, is a statement building. It's a statement project. You know, some say you cannot bring first-class retail to a neighborhood like Harlem. We wanted to prove them wrong. Have we proved them wrong? Some say that an organization like ours, why would you go and put your headquarters in Harlem? I said, why not? I said, we should. I said, we must. And we proved them wrong. Some said, how are you going to build housing where every unit is affordable? You are losing your mind. It will never, ever happen. Have we proved them wrong? Yeah. Some said, Urban League building a museum, you're way out of your lane. I say, we say what our lane is, not you. We define how we are going to fulfill our mission. And telling the story of black people is part of our mission. Particularly at a time when people want to ban books, erase curriculum in schools, tell us what we ought to have on our websites. We said no, 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 and hell no. And did we, and are we about to prove them wrong one more time? When they told us that this is something that could not be done, we put a chip on our shoulders and said, we dare you to knock it off. Because sometimes you get weary. George Dean with position papers, with workshops, with press conferences that say we need to invest in communities like ours. We need to greenlight communities like ours. We need to develop communities like ours. We said we're tired of talk, it's time for action. We said we're going to show them what can be done. And what I hope is that this is going to launch a contagion of people who will believe, not only in Harlem, but in places like Harlem all across the nation. We got to end this redlining, and we got to greenline these communities, because we know that when we invest in them, it will work for both those who invest and work for the community as well. And that's the story of this incredible facility, the Urban League Empowerment Center. On November 12th, in this room, and wherever we can stick a chair, we're going to have 400 to 500 people here for a tremendous ribbon cutting and dedication ceremony. We have a ribbon cutting, a dedication ceremony, and then we're going to have a blessing of this facility. And that's going to happen on November the 12th. So once again, if you make your way back, I got a seat for you. But we want you, if you cannot be here, the entire ceremony will be streamed live on our Facebook, on our website, and on every other channel, our YouTube channel. So we want you to make a date. We promise that we're going to hold the ceremony for 1 hour. Be tight because people are busy, and celebrate this incredible accomplishment of people, because it took people to drive this, and we're excited about that. So let me just say a few other things, and I'll get an opportunity to talk to you a little bit more officially tomorrow morning, tomorrow at midday. These are difficult times. These are very difficult times. I cannot and could not imagine 12 months ago that we would be in the middle of this storm, this hailstorm, this relentless attack on the progress of the last 70 years. Serious moment for this nation. Democracy, equal opportunity, sensible economic policies that lift up people. Imagine the government is shut down. The $20 billion is on its way to Argentina. The government is shut down. The $300 million is being spent to build a monstrosity of a ballroom at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Have we lost our value proposition in this country? Have we got lost in what our priorities really ought to be? So in this moment, we have to be a voice. We can't shrink. We can't get skinny. We can't get shaky. We can't lack courage in continuing to do the work we do, and our leaders lifting up their voices in local communities to fight this battle. Sometimes these types of challenges are sent your way to test you. And I truly believe we're being tested as a generation. We're being tested and we're being asked, can you stand up? Can you truly stand up? Do we shrink from the challenge? Or will you join in the fight and in the battle? And when I say fight and when I say battle, I don't mean what those January 6 people did. Yeah. Let's be clear. Dr. King and Whitney M, John Lewis, and many others, Dorothy Height, and many others whose names we cannot even remember, led a movement in the 1950s and 60s. Thurgood Marshall, Connie Motley. They led a movement in the streets and in the courts. And the courts of public opinion, which was the most successful nonviolent revolution in human history. And we're tested as to whether we can deploy some of those same strategies, tactics, and methods in these times to ensure that the clock is not rolled back, to ensure that our children and grandchildren are not relitigating the battles of our grandparents. That's what's on the line in this moment. That is what is on the line in this moment. But every one of you, when you work, I hope you realize that you are working in a place, in a job that has purpose in its very essence. Not just a place to collect a check. Not a place to collect resumes in my. And so other folks are relying on us. They're looking to us in hard times to provide a voice and a vehicle for them. They're counting on us. And we got to meet that time. We got to meet that challenge. We got to meet that match. So we'll have a chance to talk a little bit more about this tomorrow. But I'm also so very honored that Amazon, is Amazon in the house? Where are they? Oh, she's. And give this lady a round of applause. Really fascinating discussion this morning about artificial intelligence and trying to understand why, on one hand, we can't be afraid of it, but on the other hand, we have to understand it. And on the third hand, it is here to stay. And on the fourth hand, whether you like it or not, know it or not, or acknowledge it, you've been using artificial intelligence for a long time. Every time you Google and look up something, it's artificial intelligence. Every time you grab your phone and look at your IG feed, artificial intelligence is determining what you see. So it's been here, it's just being taken to a new and different level. So we want to thank Ebony for all of her stewardship of this relationship. And for this morning's candid conversation, one thing Amazon knows when they go in a room with urban leaders, these guys are not pulling no punches. Right? They're challenging the conversation, right? Okay, we hear you, but you telling us A, B, C, and D, but we need to hear you. We need to let you know what our perspective. So it was a good conversation, and it was candid. So Ebony, may I present the mic to you to offer some remarks. And once again, thank you, Wanda. Thank you to the talent management team. Thank you to the entire Urban League staff team. Raise your hand. National Urban League staff team. Give it up for all of their hard work as a part of this. And then officially invitees, look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the Marriott. Ladies and gentlemen, without any ado, may I have a drum? There you go.
Good evening, everyone. I'm not sure who put me on the program after Mark, but I'm always grateful to hear you speak, Mark, because I leave really inspired. As Mark said, my name is Ebony Burton, and I'm a Senior External Partnerships Manager at Amazon. We are grateful to serve as the sponsor for the Whitney M Junior Leadership Conference yet again. And we were honored to have a conversation this morning with many of the CEOs where we were challenged, but I think that is right in alignment with Amazon's culture. At Amazon, we have 16 leadership principles which our company is guided by, with the biggest one being customer obsession. And it's our job to always hear the voice of the customer. So being challenged around if AI is replacing jobs, our role in those things, and to hear voices and opinions is extremely important. And so we listen to that and we take that feedback. So being in community and being with our partners is extremely important. So I'm gonna keep it brief because really I just wanna honor the time and space that you all have here to develop, to network, and to continue to do the work and the mission of the National Urban League. But honestly, I just want to leave you with two things. One, when you see us, something that you'll hear us say, we brought this message to conference this summer, is in this together. And when you hear that, it's not just a slogan, but it's really our commitment to amplify and bring our resources to our community partners so that you have visibility to not only get boxes to your door, but tap into the programs and the resources that Amazon offers. In that conversation we had earlier this morning, one of the big things that we highlighted are the upskilling programs that Amazon offers. And so we're taking something that we're taking back today and that we need to deliver to the CEOs in the upcoming days, is an email that really outlines those resources so that you can not only share them internally with your organization, but externally to the community. So we want to continue to provide opportunity and spaces to share other things like that. Our supplier diversity programs, where folks that have businesses that are entrepreneurs to not only be our customers, but for Amazon to be your customer, right? How can you make money with us? And so please, I'm around, I'll be here tomorrow, I'll be at the luncheon. If there's any particular conversations that you want us to bring to you in these spaces next year at conference, I'm always open to feedback and hearing what may be of interest to you. So please find me, and thank you for having us, and we're honored to sponsor this event in Michigan. So thank you.
Sherry Suzette, Sue, come on, Sherry Suzette, Sue. I forgot to acknowledge my bosses. And then is William here? Is William still with us? William Barnes? He was here earlier. So Sherry Suzette and Sue. Where is he?